What is up, podheads? Back with another episode of the Podioslave podcast. My name is Tony, and I'm carrying the win. No, and, I'm joined as always by Anthony and Nate. How you guys doing?
How you doing? How you feeling, people? My name is Anthony.
Your name is Anthony? Okay, perfect.
I like the variation, but always the same, but a little bit different. Same, but different. Yeah, Nate here. Happy to hang with you guys as always.
So yeah, we just had a conversation with Randy and Cameron, right? Of 84 Days, and Randy also of Pennywise, but what a great combo. Like, this was so much fun, and I'm saying this having already edited it, but you guys haven't heard it yet, but it's really good. And the album, the debut self-title, just dropped last Friday, so this is coming out the Monday after. Really cool. Also features Adrian of No Doubt playing drums on that record, but the back and forth between Randy and Cameron, a lot of fun. It's always great to have two band members on who have known each other for a while, know how they work together, and can have a conversation and, kind of steer them in directions to talk about music. But those guys were great.
And known each other in different capacities. This is the first time they've been in a band together, but Cameron has produced, I think, 3 Pennywise records. He did all the Motorhead stuff back in the day, Alkaline Trio, huge resume, go look it up. But the story of how this came to be, and it's kind of one of these, some of these things just happen. There's no plan. Like, bands just form and people want to make music. And there's a tipping point where you're like, I think the world needs to hear this. And I think that's a lot of what happened with 84 Days. But Nate, you were not in the interview, but you're doing the intro with us. So
yeah,
if you haven't listened to it, go check it out. It just came out, right? Double Helix Records.
Okay. Yep.
Standout tracks for you, Tony. I know, like, we talk about Don't Trust the Government. What would you dig?
I really dig the opening track is cool, Mockingbird Brains. I really like Find Your Way Back Home and the message behind it, which we touch on a little bit in it. It's a song that Randy kind of wrote to his kids. Really cool. And Smiling While We Drown, which is a song we touch on in the interview. You'll dig, Nate. And I like Ticking Away, another one that we touch on in the interview. But the record's really good front to back. Like, it's meant to be played a couple times. It's meant to, and you can't do it this time of year, but roll the windows down and just kind of be with it. It's SoCal punk, man. Like, it's fun. It's really good. And I'm excited for people to hear these guys and hear this record. And I'm excited for you to hear it, Nate.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, the lineup alone, there's obviously a lot of legacy there and pros at what they do. So yeah, I can't imagine it's anything but amazing. So yeah, between the interview and the record itself, I'll check it all out.
And they're playing live. They got a couple shows in December with the Vandals, their upcoming holiday shows, December 19th in Ventura and December 20th in Anaheim. So Nate, if you were back in Cali, you might have had a chance, but
man,
but in Maine, you're not making it happen. But they got a couple shows planned out.
I did tell Randy, like, we'll decide if we want to fly out to that show in November. Why the hell not? Or the December too? Why the hell not? But yeah, it's cool, and you'll dig it, Nate. I think it'll be right up your alley, and it's I mean, you know us, and you know what we like, so yeah, I think you're gonna be into this one.
All right, I'm down.
Yeah, if you're fans of Randy's work, you're fans of Cameron's work, this is a sweet spot, and there's a lot of reference to, like, the 90s, and now that, like, they kind of planted that seed, you can hear it a lot. You can definitely hear it. It's something that I would have sunk my teeth into just getting into punk rock in the late 90s. So
yeah, let's do it. Conversation with Randy and Cameron of 84 Days coming at you.
All right, we're here with Randy and Cameron from 84 Days. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's always funny asking that question after you've already spoken with the guests for like 10 minutes before. We just had a 10-minute hang. We got Cameron's whole history, Randy's experience in Portland, Maine. It was a good combo.
We got to get him out of here by, right at the top of the hour because they're going to jail.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But thank you guys for coming on here. And we got to ask, did starting a band together in 2025, was that on your 2025 bingo card or what?
Not at all. None of that was on the bingo card. As a matter of fact, I was just writing songs because that's what I like doing. I've been, I got a 4-track in 1988, and ever since then, I've been off to the races just writing music that most people never hear, and it's sitting on a hard drive or tapes in boxes in the garage. So yeah, I just wrote this batch of songs, and I sent them to Cameron because I wanted to get an honest opinion, and I trust Cameron's opinion, and he has a way of telling you things are bad or good without, like, he's kind of impartial about it. So I was like, I wonder what if these songs are good or not. I send them to him, and he said, yeah, these are great, and you should do an album. So, that just set the ball in motion. And, and then it just one thing led to another.
But then what happened is he goes, "Hey, I'm thinking about a drum." He goes, "So I'm like, these songs are great that you wrote. We should record these." And then he got a record deal real fast. And then I'm like, "Well, who's going to play drums?" And he goes, "I've always wanted to play with Adrian. He's Adrian Young from No Doubt." And he's like, "He's so rad. He's a good friend." I'm like, "Well, I talk to Adrian every once in a while, and he says he just wants to play on people's records." I'm like, "So let's call him up." So Adrian said yes. And then here's the funny thing. I was thinking about like, okay, if the two guys go into rehearsal, it's just going to be guitars, vocals, and drums. The bass, you need a bass to like fill out the weight. But I'm like, well, what are we going to do? And I said, you know what? I'm just going to learn every single song and play bass on it. That was my goal, was not to be in the band. It was just to learn for rehearsals. So I learned all the songs. We recorded the record. Randy let me play bass on some of the songs. I did a bunch of weird stuff. And then when we're finished with the record, Randy's like, I come over to his house and he's like introducing this guy, like fixing something in his house. He goes, "Yeah, this is my buddy Cameron. He's my new bass player." I'm like, "Randy, I'm not in the band yet. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Nope, you're in the band." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Nice.
You know the songs, you're good.
Yeah. I knew Cameron was going to play bass because he's talented and he knows how to play. He used to play. And then even as we're going over the songs, he was picking things up really fast. And I was like, oh, all he needs to do is just like get the rust off, and then this will be great.
But my only goal was, when we went to that rehearsal, was to be the person that fucked up the least. Because guess what? I've got two pros. I got two guys that do this for a living every day in front of thousands of people. And then there's me who just sits behind the board all the time. I'm like, I'm going to make less mistakes than both of you. And I think I achieved it in that
Oh,
rehearsal.
he did.
Nice.
Me and Adrian were just like we couldn't even finish a song. But there's something about that I know when it's like go time that I'm going to have it all wrapped up and put together.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that rehearsal wasn't very good actually, but the album's great. I love the way the album turned out.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's a lot of energy, a lot of fun, a lot of introspection on some stuff. Like don't let the world bring you down, but like stand back, fight up against it too. So we're huge fans. We've been able to listen to it for about a week now, a couple times, right? And really stoked to have everybody else be able to hear it. And this is out the Monday after it drops, so it's out there. Go check it out if you haven't yet. Pause the episode and do that. But so Randy, you said you had been always kind of writing some songs. Are these all brand new, or did you pull from some old stuff? How did that come about?
Well, there is an older one. There is a couple older ones I didn't write in this batch. What happened was it was towards the end of like the whole, COVID thing. And I was trying to do, we couldn't work. So I was at home. I was trying to day trade. I'm like, oh, I'm a day trader. I can do this.
Oh boy.
And that's frustrating, to say the least. So I was feeling there was a lot going on where I wasn't, and I hadn't been writing. I hadn't been writing since around the last Pennywise album in 2017. As a matter of fact, when we did that album, I had submitted a bunch of songs that were kind of different. I thought, Pennywise has reached a certain point that maybe we can go, I don't know, like if you want to hear classic Pennywise, now we may have yet to have our very best album ever in the future. And I would hope for that, because I think we can. But also there's the part where when people love bands, they love the first 3, 4, 5 albums. And so I feel like I want to create new things and things like that. And so we have a very small scope of how much we can work within in Pennywise. So anyways, I submitted a bunch of songs that were different and they weren't super well received. And I look back on it, I could see why. So I went home after that album and I wrote like 5 burners that I wished I had turned in. And then I'm like, I'm done. So I hadn't written for, I don't know, 6 years or so. And I was frustrated and I was day trading. And so then I go, I'm just going to get in the studio and try to create something. I try to recreate the situations that have led to my best songs. Like sometimes out of nowhere, I'll write 100 songs, but then like 3 of them or whatever will be something that everyone likes. And I thought about those and I'm like, those songs, the best ones, just they come to you, like pop in your head. So I imagined this situation for these songs. I'm like, I want to recreate this. I'm not going to self edit. I'm not going to tell myself, oh, that sounds like something we've done before. Because then the reason why you've done something before is because it sounds good. So you got these 4 chords or 3 chords and they're just perfect and you use them on a song. But then the next songs you go, I purposely can't use the very best chord progressions because I have to be different. So I didn't, and then you end up writing stuff that's not good. So I just said, I'm not gonna self edit. I'm just gonna write the first thing that pops in my head. I'm gonna just like pretend like the universe is feeding me stuff, and I'm never gonna play these songs for anyone. So I wrote that group of songs, and that's what I sent to Cameron. And then Cameron went over all of it. He goes, and then I'm like, okay, you are the producer. Here's my stuff. You're in charge now. You get to take it and shape it and pick. So he went through and got rid of some, and he said, "Do you got anything that is better than that?" And I had a couple older songs. One of them is "Wasting the Night." That one was like something weird I wrote. For some reason, I felt like I think back when I was drinking, I wrote this song, and it felt like a pub song. I'm like, why am I writing a pub song? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Cameron, what did you think? You get these songs from Randy, these heaters, these all-time bangers. What do you think?
I get all these songs, and there's a couple songs that sound like Pennywise songs. There's a couple sound like B-side Pennywise songs. And I said, guess what, Randy? Throw all those ones away. I don't want to touch those things with a 10-foot pole. That's your band. That's your livelihood. That's who you are. Keep them in that band. But then he had all these rock songs that were more like, I'm going to say a little more 90s, like club sort of music from the 90s, more like club, like punk rock clubs and stuff, like from Bogarts and all these like cool places in Long Beach, LA, Orange County. I said, those are the songs you should make. They're more Social Distortion-esque shit, stuff like that. So I said, those are the ones that are exciting me. Throw all the other ones away. And I think back of like when before Randy was in Pennywise, he was playing, like he was literally playing every night of the week. And he was living with Smelly from No Effects back then and like doing stupid stuff. But like, that's like where he learned to write songs. That was like his like bed of like, this is where Randy came from. So then when he showed me those songs, I was like, oh my God, like these are great. Like you need to just release these and it's not supposed to be like Pennywise at all. It's just supposed to be different. And so those are the songs that I chose.
Now you have the songs, Cameron, you've listened to them. You're like, all right, these are the ones we're going to go with. And you end up playing bass on them. Are you guys thinking we've got something here? Like this is going to, make some noise. Let's properly promote this. Let's get this out there to people. Let's make sure you're just like going with the flow.
You know what it is? It's exciting when like you make a record, but then this other element comes in. His name's Jeff at Double Helix Records, and he loves the record, and he's so excited, and he wants to not be in a band. He wants to promote a band and help like make a band. He loves the song, so like we have this other entity that came in and just like, well, I like the marketing and all this kind of stuff that we don't care about and don't want to be involved in. So it makes it more fun for us because we're like, okay, you got ideas, let's give it to us and let's do it. And so there's like another element there that's making it fun because for us, Randy and I are like, well, now we got this record. What do we do with it? Oh man, we got this rad marketing guy. Like this is going to help us get on podcasts like this and do fun stuff. And then all of a sudden we make friends with the Vandals and they say, hey, would you play these 2 Christmas shows with us this year on the 20th of December? We're like, yes, let's do it. And now all of a sudden, like we're practicing twice a week and like getting our act together. And then Randy's like, hey, I just called Smelly from No Effects to see if we wanted to play drums. And Smelly said yes. And we're like, oh, okay, well, let's rehearse.
So you're going to play bass live, Cameron, then?
Yes.
Right on. When was the last time you did that?
Come on. None of those questions. I mean, here's the thing.
That's one of the gotchas, I guess.
There you go.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I make records every single day with people and I pick up their basses and I show them things and I hand it back to them. So it's like, I feel like, I mean, I've never stopped playing it. And I mean, I've been playing since I was 14 years old. So there's no like, I mean, I haven't like done concerts and stuff like that, but it's just like, here's the thing. When I'm going to learn something, I'm going to learn it so people look and go, wow, that guy's good. Not like, oh man, that guy's just some bozo who's just messing around on that thing. Like my goal is for people to say, hey, that's a tight band. So I'm not going to mess around.
Randy, did it feel weird creating something away from Pennywise where you've been doing that for so long? Did it feel weird kind of working a different muscle?
Well, the thing was wrapping my head around the idea of me being the lead singer. And guitar player. I've played in a lot of bands ever since the early 80s. So I've started bands, I've gone in and done recordings. I feel very comfortable doing things. I love creating new projects and assembling people and playing with different people. But yeah, being the lead singer, that was something I had to really kind of grasp with and wrap my head around. And but it was cool. I knew I wasn't comfortable with the idea actually because there's a lot that can go wrong. But I knew it was what I needed to do because the opportunity was there, and I love to take advantage of opportunities. Like if something is there and you don't want to do it because it might be hard, or because you know, knock on wood, you could fail, or what people might say, that's when I shift gears. I go into high gear and I go, well, I'm just going to do it because I'm not going to.
The interesting thing is like, so when the record was done, Randy's like, oh, I'm just practicing the songs at home. And I'm like, well, I'm going to come over there and do it with you. So I plugged in the bass, he plugged in the guitar, and everything was like really quiet. And I'm like, Randy, dude, is this how you practice all the time? I'm like, let's turn these amps on 10 and let's have you sing out loud. And he's like, well, I don't know about that. And he's like, fuck it, let's do it. And then all of a sudden we're in his room where he is right now with everything on 10 and him like screaming. And he's going, I can do this. Wow, this is great. And then I take him to the studio. We rehearsed there for a little while, but I put him through a PA. And for a while, it was just me, Randy, with amps on 10, and then drums from the record. We were just playing the drums back. So he could say, hey, you know what? I actually can sing these songs loud and they sound good. So
yeah, I mean, I do backing vocals with Pennywise quite a lot, and I've been doing that for years. And it's just, but for me, it was mostly just getting the idea of like, oh, just me up here. So yeah, but now it's like, you know, it's like riding a bike. Now I feel like we have momentum. The band is sounding good. You know, Cameron's great. He's like got great sounds. Of course, Smelly's great. And so it's just feeling, you know, if I got a great band behind me, then it makes it easier for me to do the things I need to do.
Yeah. One thing we've learned doing this podcast for about 6 years is there's never like a grand plan. It just happens. It's just dudes sending a phone call, sending a text. I know you don't text Cameron, but phone call.
I told him you don't like
who said that?
I did.
It just happens. It just snowballs, right? You said a word in there, Randy. It's momentum. It's you got these songs, and then you pull in this person. Double Helix is involved. Vandals involved. You know, it's cool, and it doesn't have to be a grand plan. Like Tony, this podcast, there was never any plan. We just picked up some mics and started. You know, and so I love that. It's organic. It's just an organic thing to happen.
It's that thing in Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come, or whatever that is. And I notice that all the time, you know. So if you, it's just that. If you build it, they will come.
But here's the thing: you guys pick on me and me not texting. You should see how little I check my emails. That's even worse.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Don't get me started on email.
But here's the thing. Like right now, if we do this podcast without this visual, we'd just be like robots. But here, we're like communicating. We can react. And when I say a smart ass thing, you know it's funny, not like picking on you. So it's like there's so much context that gets lost and people not being people. And like even like us as a band practicing, like Randy's like, hey, I'm gonna show you this part. And I'm like, I'll be at your house in 5 minutes. And I drive over there and I'm in there and I'm like, we're communicating. We're human beings. We're not meant to be just sending stupid messages all the time. Like we got to connect with.
I'm envious. Yeah. I need to adopt that.
I don't think I sound like that, Cameron. Okay. Hey, come on over here.
You never say that. I just show up. Like the other day, Randy's like, I got this bass out of the closet. It's super sick. And he sends a picture of it. And it's Sunday afternoon. I'm supposed to go home. And I look at it. I'm like, are you home? He's like, yes. I'm like, I'm on my way. He's like, what? Yeah, I'll be there in 5. He's like, okay. Like,
yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah, because we've been trying to figure out, Cameron's been trying to figure out, like, he doesn't want just like he wants a bass that he thinks is special. And I happen to have this one that I played. I got it in like 1988. I played it on the Unknown Road album. I played it on, I don't know. Oh, there it is. The Guilt. It's a hammer neck through body. But
yeah, it's awesome.
So he likes that one.
That
so
is
he's
sick.
like, I'm coming right over. And then I tried to get off some of the stickers and fucked up the finish. I'm like, oh God, now I did it after all these years.
Crap, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell, but
That's another part of the story. So
that is it sounds like you guys have a lot of fun doing this, which is I think a great place to start as far as being a collaborator with somebody, right? Like it's not all just work. It's we're having fun. Oh, he texted me a photo of the bass. I'm on my way to your house. Like I love that. I love that. Get in person, be around each other. It's so much easier to create that way, right?
It's so much better, and it's so much fun. Like with Jeff too, and Randy. Like it's not about like, hey, this is a business. We got to do all this stuff. It's like, hey, let's just do what we can and like have fun with it and just run the course. And like Smelly said the same thing. Like he goes, if this isn't fun, I don't want to do it. And we're like, okay, well, let's just make sure we enjoy this the whole time. But we're excited too. Like when you have someone like Jeff and you're like, hey, what if we need like a hat? And all of a sudden he sends 10 ideas to us the next day. And we're like, oh shit. Okay, let's make the hat or let's do whatever it is. And it's just fun.
Was it always going to be Adrian that you pulled in, or did you? I imagine you guys have the biggest Rolodex in the game of who could drum. Was it always going to be Adrian? Did you immediately go to him?
Well, I actually had talked to Eric Sand and to Smelly, but I think I talked to him right around the same time or before Adrian. But I had done some little demoing with Adrian about 5 years earlier, and he really he had a great feel. And so I wasn't quite sure if he'd want to do the album. So, but then, I talked to Eric, and he was on tour. They're doing their final tour with No Effects. And then I just shot Adrian a text, which was great. I like text. And he wrote back, let's do it. So, it's just one of those things. It's like, you just reach out. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what response, but you go for it and you try. And then things either align and they come together or they don't. And a lot of things are coming together on this. Even like Cameron keeps talking about Double Helix and Jeff and M. They're great. Like I couldn't imagine. It was just random. I just was cold calling, sending DMs on Instagram. I'd look and say, oh, they might do it. And because I didn't care. I wanted to record the music with Cameron. Someone else had to pay for it because if I can't pay for our own stuff, because then how do we know it's actually, I figured if someone else pays for it, now that makes it real. So, because they believe in it, they're going to invest in it. They do this for a living. So not only did they do that, but they have a passion for making albums and doing that type of work. So when you combine a team like that, you get so much more than, so you're sharing in the profits, right? When you do that, but you might make some profits if you have a bunch of people who are really good. And if you're sharing those, that's the best thing ever. Like if I'm helping put money in people's pockets or helping make their life more enriching or better, if I can do that in any way, that's like the best feeling ever. So we got super lucky with them. And the whole thing is just fun. It's fun every moment. So, that's what I told Cameron. It's like just making the album. Like, I feel like we've made the fucking raddest album we could have made. And that's a great feeling when you go, wow, we put everything that I would have wanted to do on this. We did it. And we were, handing the guitar back and forth and doing pick slides and things. And Cameron would be like, you need to make a noise here. And I'd be like, okay, like this. And he'd go, no, give me I'll do it like this. So all this weird little things that gave the album personality is like both of us, like we were both in there creating. So the whole process that's the winner right there. That's the win. Everything else, is extra, but even that's fun. Like doing this is fun. Every single little thing. So I love the whole thing.
Randy brought up a thing that maybe this is a question, but like when we were making the record and choosing the sound of the record and the style of the record, I was like, I had a vision right away. Like, this is what I want the record to sound like. I want it to be more like AC/DC. I want it to be stripped down. I don't want it to be like, I'm used to working with records with like 4 people I have to make happy. So sometimes you're compromising with that. But with this one, I was like, hey, we're going to do a minimalist kind of record where it sounds like a rock band playing this, more like a AC/DC. And we're going to choose these kind of sounds and these kind of styles. And Randy was like, too cool. You're the boss. You do whatever you want. You do what you think I need. And that's what was amazing, because he gave me 100% ability to do what I chose for what I thought was right for him. And then when we were in the studio doing stuff, there's moments where I had a question. I would look at Randy. I'm like, hey, is this cool? Is this not cool? He's like, not cool. Okay, done. It's over. Cool, not cool. And it was vice versa. He would come to me and be like, Cameron, is this part good? No, it's bad. Rewrite it. No, it's good. Let's perform it. So the cool thing about the record is like Brett from McKnight listened to it and he goes, man, I wish I could make records like that. I go, what do you mean? He goes, it just seems so simple, but it has all the right elements. And like the guitar leads there, and we chase the tone for that, or the drum sound, or the simplicity of parts. Like often we make records that are overly complicated because we don't know why. We're just competing with everything. And this wasn't competing. This was just like, this sounds good the way this is right now. Stop doing overdubs. Stop doing all this other junk. This is the core sort of sound. So it's like AC/DC, but more 90s rock sort of thing. So
one of those songs we did a solo on, I think it was Never Find the Righteous. And I did the first solo take, and he was like, yeah, that's great. Okay, let's do it again. I go, why? It's just going to be a different version of the same thing. And then he listened to it again. He goes, yeah, okay, yeah, that's good.
It's never going to be better than what that first take was. And we did it 7 more times, and we didn't use a single one of them. We're like, go back to take 1. It was great. It inspired us. It made us like smile and be excited. And that's what matters when you're making records.
Sometimes I think with guitar solos, it's like it's an energy thing. Like Greg Ginn, I was very something about Greg Ginn just going for it. Like, I mean, whatever they are now, I'm talking about way back. It to me that was like the coolest thing ever. It's like it's like anarchy. It's like energy. It's like you at you, you know. So I really like that, but also like melody too. So you know, I try to. But if something gets a little crazy or a little weird, it's like that's okay.
Well, it sounds like a lot of it, you guys' relationship, like you've known each other for a while, but you know, maybe it's been a little bit since you've worked together. I think having that history, experience, and just again, when you lead with the mantra of let's have fun, that can change the whole thing. It's not meant to sell records. It's not meant to satisfy this person. It's for you guys and to have fun. I mean, you're busy guys. This is you know something you guys want to do, and I think. If anyone starts anything, lead with that. Lead with go have fun first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only expectations, there was no expectations other than let's try to make the best sounding, the stuff we like the most right now, you know, so.
And there was no, and when sometimes when people say, oh, just do it, what's fun, there was no laziness involved. There was never like, oh, it's good enough. It was like, that's not good enough. Just do it again. And he would do it again, or I would do it again. Because I have this thing where like when someone plays a guitar solo wrong, it's just like, did you do your homework to know what the solo is? If you know what the solo is and your wrong is what you're creating, then it's okay. But if you do a wrong solo because you don't know how to play the part, that's not acceptable. So that's like just one of the mantras that we kind of have, and Randy and I talk about a lot. It's like, hey, whether it's even like Smelly learning a drum part, it's like, if he knows what the part should be and he plays something different, that's okay. But if he doesn't know the core of it, then don't, it's not right. So it's just like, but that's part of fun to me, because it's like, we do have a standard of like, we want people to listen to this and be like, that's cool. That sounds rad. This is exciting and fun.
Well, the record's great. I mean, we've listened to it a couple times. 84 Days self-titled came out a couple days ago on Double Helix Records, and it's a total throwback, but also feels new. You know what I mean? And that's not an easy thing to do, because like you said, you're kind of pulling from stuff that you guys like and maybe grew up with or were around a lot from 30 years ago, but it feels new, even though it hits some of those. It gets, Anthony said to me earlier today, it's the type of music that got me into the genre to begin with. Like, this is it right here. And you nailed that part of it for sure.
Cool. I think a lot too of the record is I'm obviously a nerd when it comes to gear and recording equipment. So to me, it was like choosing the right mics, the right mixing console, and doing all that stuff. So I totally nerd out with all that. And that's where Randy gives me all the freedom. But it's like, I'm not cutting any corners. Like, we have a rad console, this big Trident, and we have all these like amplifiers and Marshalls and Soldanos and Bogners, and we're just grabbing for what we think is the highest quality of everything we do. So
I gotta ask, is there a story behind the name, or is that for you guys to keep close to the chest?
Why don't you answer? You've heard everything I've had to say on this, Cameron. You go with the name.
Randy, you know I don't listen to you, so
All right. Well, the name started. Okay, it was just something that stuck around as an inside joke from high school.
But you have 30 seconds to tell them, and that's it. And then
That's
they're cutting you off. Timer starts now.
Yeah. Well, no,
84 seconds. 84 seconds.
84 seconds that's perfect. Yeah, it was just started as an inside joke. So and it stuck around. So I had used it on this other small project I did, like where I was like, I had to think of a name really fast, and I just called it 84-day syndrome. But then when we did this, I had ran that by Cameron and everyone, and we talked about maybe getting rid of the syndrome. It just doesn't flow. And then a lot of the kind of the overarching kind of theme at the time, and kind of with the lyrics is like kind of like Orwellian-esque type of, I mean, it's really easy to do. Just pay attention, turn on the news and stuff like that. And it's kind of like you think about that and you're like, oh, that book wasn't supposed to be about what's actually going to happen in the future or at that time. So a lot of it's inspired by that. So it just really, on a lot of fronts, it kind of makes sense. The name is just like it just kind of feels like it means something to me for sure. So just 84 days, and what's in a name anyways? Aerosmith,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we love talking to bands and band members and people like you guys who have been around a while too. But right before the record drops, you both been around a while. So are you nervous? Do you still get nervous to put art out, or are you like, old hat, done this before?
Not one bit. It's
Right
something
on.
we did and we're excited. We want people to hear it, and there's no nervous or not nervous. I mean, and I just look at it like there's all these haters in the world that want to talk down things. We're not going to look at that. Like, whatever. Like, not going to think twice about that. If people listen to it and are supportive, which people who've heard it everyone's been supportive. Like, those are the people I want to talk to. Because if you hate it, then you don't like this anyway. So go listen to something else. Like, and I think life is too focused on the negativity, and we're just positive. And guess what? We were three people just having fun, creating something that we thought other people would like, and that's what we did. And if you don't like it, then tough, like whatever, like move on and go find something that you like. And because that's why there's no need to be nervous. Like, we're proud of it. We think it's cool. I can't wait till someone goes, listen to the tone on that guitar in the opening of Mockingbird. It's so cool. It's like, yes, those are the people I want to hear it.
Yeah, it's more kind of like excitement than nervousness, because we finished the album a year ago. And but that was one of the things that I thought about at first when I was like, wow, I have to wrap my head around these certain kind of perception, possible perceptions before I move ahead with it. I was like, I had to just go, some people aren't going to like it. Some people are going to make their judgments. And but the way I dealt with that is like, those aren't the people that matter. The people that matter are the people that it resonates with, and the people that like it. So you never know until people start hearing it and you start getting feedback. And it was really hard. It took a year before we got any feedback, and you're sitting there. I'm like, I like it. I think we did a great job. For what I could even think about doing. So then we've gotten good feedback since then. So that feels good, because you want people to get it and you want people to like what you do. But also, as far as Cameron says about people that there are haters, I don't care. Actually, I like it when there's haters, because that means now you entered their world. So when, I used to hear Even Flow on the radio every day when I got in my car, and I turn it on. That's a good song. But I had to hear it so much that I started hating it. So, and that's because there's a huge level of success that's forcing it on people who aren't actually looking for it. So the more haters we have, the better we're doing. That's the way I looked at it.
I love that. Yeah.
And and haters love to talk. They love to talk, and they'll get that name out there. It's great. Yeah. Some of the comments we get, like on some posts and stuff, it's like, one, did you even watch the whole thing? And two, who cares? I don't care what you think. You shouldn't care what I think. So let's move on. Let's talk some tracks. So a couple standouts for me. I love Don't Trust the Government. Like, I love, like, Randy, your kind of full circle moment of hearing this message, you being younger, full circle, took all your money, it's all been spent. They don't care about you. I mean, we're not a political podcast, but I love that. And then the last track, Smiling While We Drown. Great closer. I love like the sarcastic element to it. And I can just see like in a live element, that being a big sing along. So I think sounds like layered vocals throughout it. Like it's a banger.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So, actually Don't Trust the Government. It's an apolitical song.
There you go. Yeah. 100%.
Like, don't be political, and so it speaks to herself. And then it's funny, Smiling While We Drown. We're going over that song now. And I always, I really like that song because it's like you were saying in the beginning. It's like, okay, yeah, the world's crazy, lots of stuff's going on, but we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna be positive, and we're gonna do the best we can instead of getting caught in the jumbled mess. So that's what that song means to me. And it's funny, there was a song I heard. I can't remember the name of the guy, but it's kind of it's not in the punk rock genre, and it's like a very sing-along-y kind of, almost like, it's not a country song, but I would listen to it with my daughter, and I just loved it. We'd listen to it together. Me and my daughter, we always listen to new music and stuff, and I'm like, I would love to do a song with this kind of a feeling to it, and I don't care. It's like, and think about it, when I'm writing these songs and we're doing this album, no one's ever going to hear it. Like, I was thinking, when I write these songs, no one's going to hear it, so I'm going to do what I want. So I was trying to convey the type of sound I wanted to Cameron. I remember when we had recorded, I'm like, I wanted to sound like a group of people in a barn singing. And he's like, we don't have a group of people. And so all my ideas were pushing him in a direction that would have been sonically really bad. So he took, and this was the good thing about the album, is like, I would say, here's my idea. This is what I want. And he'd go, I know how to make that so you don't sound like an idiot. And so
yeah.
I am so happy with how that song turned out.
It's funny that song, like, I'm relearning it right now, and it's not that I don't like it. It's complicated on the bass, and the parts don't repeat in normal spots. So it's kind of a complicated song. If you pick it up, you couldn't just play it. You have to figure this stuff out. So the last 2 days I've been spending all this time going it. So it's so much work for me that I often forget what the song is, because I know the labor that's going into it. But then now, Don't Trust the Government is very straightforward. I love that chorus. It just punches you in the head and says, hey, guess what? We're all in this together. And like, man, we got to pay our taxes and all this nonsense. And you don't really care about us as individuals. We're just free. And and I love the chorus, and I love the story that Randy's telling of when he's a kid and he's learning about not trusting the government from punk bands, from Black Flag or from Circle Jerks or all these things. Like, they're the flyers that are in the Tower Records that he's seeing. These are the places he's going and the things he's visiting. And it's just to show you, like, these bands were like saying, hey, be careful. Like, don't look at the face value. There's more, everything's deeper than you think. So have your own opinion and your vision of this. And like, I always love that song. And it's funny, my friend Christian Jacobs, he's the singer for the Aquabats. And when we recorded that song, I'm like, I got to play this for Christian. I got to see what his opinion. And he listened to it. And I remember when the chorus hit, he just laughed. And I go, why are you laughing? He goes, it's so obvious that I love it. And it's just like, it's fun. And then he goes, I can't believe you're going to be in a band that's the chorus. And I'm like, but it's fun. Like it's meant to be like I always say this, like, remember there was that cartoon about learning about like Capitol Hill and the Bill, like those songs, there are those Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock. Yep.
I look at that, and they made politics not be like politics. It was more like, I don't know, this thing. And I look at that song, and it's that same sort of entity of like, it's not so serious, because I know people take so much seriousness, and it's like a more playful version of what that is. And you think about like that, playing that in front of like a bunch of people, something to sing along to. Like, that's a very don't trust. Like, I feel like by the time they hit the third chorus and they don't know the song, they might sing along, and that would just be fun, because everyone's just like, let's just hang out and join and be together as people wherever we're at. So I love that song too.
Well, Ticking Away does that too for me. Like, I was just singing it all morning, driving to and from that in the car, roll the windows down, even though it's like 48 degrees here in Maine. Like, it felt like a song that I could be listening to, on a warm summer night driving around as a 17-year-old, even though I'm 41 now. So it gave me that Like, oh, now I am 41. I should have been paying attention to the message of this song back then.
And that's that it's doing the right thing for you.
It's like when you drive down the freeway. I've used this analogy before, but you drive down the freeway and you've gone 10 miles and you go, how did I get here? Like you're not paying attention and you know, things just happen, you know? So
Yeah.
I guess that it would just be to say, you know, appreciate the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which everyone says, but it's hard to do. So
I love this combo because it gives us almost like a fly on the wall perspective of like band member, producer. And like Randy, you said, make this sound like I'm in a barn. Like I can only imagine my favorite records. Like that's the level of intel. And then the producer's like, how do I translate that? And then,
Yeah.
you know, you work together. It's so cool.
well, that's, you know, that's so funny because this goes to everything in life. I remember being a little kid. I remember it's weird. I remember these small segments of being a kid, and I remember trying to explain to like my mom or somebody. I was like, I had to have been less than 5. The word yesterday. I was trying to say, oh, I was doing this, and I get so frustrated when I'm misunderstood or not understood, and so I spend a lot of time trying to be clear, and you know, so with an engineer or a producer over the time of what is the language for music? There's really not one except for doing the music. That's why I remember I was in a band with Dan Root, who plays in the Adolescents now. It was called One Hit Wonder. And I was trying to explain to him how I thought that his song should go. And he wasn't getting it. He didn't want to get it. So I go, fuck this. I went home. I got on the drums. I set up like a PPZM mic on the drums, and I just recorded the whole song. And I brought it back to him the next day, and I said, this is what I was talking about. And we ended up doing the song that way. That was the arrangement. And so, and I've had these situations with engineers. I'm trying to explain, and it sounds really bad and silly when you're trying to explain something. So from recording over the years, I've learned a little bit about frequencies or what should be where, and really how a lot of my ideas were completely wrong. And if I wanted to get the thing I was looking for, I had to go about it in a different way. You know, so I learned how to speak to engineers and producers a little better so that they can now at least go, okay, he doesn't know what he's talking about, but I think I know how to give him what he wants.
But for me, like Randy, like I'm learning a new language every day. Every new band, every new member, they'll say something to me like, hey, I want the bass to be punchier. I'm like, well, is punchier bottom end or is it high end? And some guys it's high end, some guys it's low end. So I'll have to ask questions, and I deal with this on a day-to-day basis, and it's literally a new language every single day. If you're a metal band, you want this. If you're a rock band, you want this. And I love that side of things. But what Randy didn't say is like on the song before that, Walk Through Danger, he said that same barn trick, and I said, I know what to do. What do you mean you know what to do? I basically threw him in the live room, and I made it sing 8 times, and I had him stand close to the mic and far from the mic. So it sounded like there was 8 people singing this part. And then that song has more of an ambience towards the vocal behind him. So it's like, I never say to an artist, like, you want a barn sound? I never laugh at him or joke or whatever. I'm like, I think in my brain go, what is he actually telling me? What does he want? And then I spend time and effort, and I'll often show them examples, or I'll pull the records out, or I'll have them go in the room, and I will find a way to achieve what they're doing. And this whole record is full of those achievements of Randy throwing like curveballs, like, catch this one, Cameron. I'm like, okay, we'll do this and that. And I want this to be exciting. Well, what does exciting mean? Like, and that's part of what's amazing about making records is having multiple people having these ideas, and they're very abstract ideas, but then how do you physically put them onto an entity or tape or recording or whatever to do? And that's the charm of making records, I think.
I love it. Yeah, we could geek out about this all day.
Yeah, but you guys got to get to jail, as we've said.
So obviously, well, not obvious. Maybe it's not obvious, but part of it's making the music. The other part is playing it live. So as of right now, you have 2 shows lined up with the Vandals in December 19th, I think in Ventura, 20th in Anaheim. So you got those. Any other plans for shows that can be announced, or are you still working those out?
Well, we have an unannounced show that we're going to play on the 21st, a local Long Beach place that we want to do it. Just that'll be the first time we get up on stage. So we don't want to announce it. We want everyone to go. Probably tell a bunch of people. It won't be worth flying from Portland, Maine, all the way down there. But,
Hey, I'll decide about that.
yeah. But so we're doing that. We also have a few things lined up for 2026, some pretty cool things. So we both have busy schedules, but we also have plenty of room to do more. And I want to do as much as we can. If people want to see us, if people want us to come play, then we're going to find a way to do it. If not, then at the very least, I want to be able to do another album because that's fun. So we're doing the most we can.
And it's hard when it's a new entity. It's not a band that's existed. People don't know the songs, so it's like it's starting from something very fresh. And the exciting thing is like the Vandals show. Like we get to play in front of this amazing audience that I grew up with the Vandals. Randy grew up with the Vandals. And we get to play in front of their fan base and like, well, who are these guys? And hopefully some people have heard the record. And then those that don't, we hope they listen to us and go, wow, that's a good band. Like I should start paying attention to these guys. And that's why Randy and I have talked about, like, let's just not play bogus shows. Let's try to be more focused on presenting ourselves to the right people. And it's the wild thing about, like, let's just say this Vandal show is like, we look up to the Josh Freezes and that whole band, the Warren Fitzgeralds and Joe and all those guys and Dave. Like, it's almost nerve-wracking to say, hey, we're going to play in front of them. Oh, crap. But like, they're such the raddest dudes that they'll be supportive and they'll be nice and they'll be fun and they'll pick on us and whatever it is. And that's okay. Like, so it's weird to be playing in front of your direct peers. It's just like that. It's an exciting thing, but it's also a nerve-wracking thing. Like, I'd rather play in front of strangers because then, like, oh, I don't have to talk to them at Christmas time or whatever. Like, it's going to be fine. But so there's like the only nervousness is there, but it's like, you know what? But they're supportive of what we do because we've supported them for their whole career. So it's like, I don't know, they're positive, they're rad people. So I think that's the exciting thing about like this other show that Randy's talking about too. Like, those will be people that Randy knows and friends and relationships, and they'll tell them, hey, you're sucking or you're good or whatever it is. Like, we're not going to suck. It's going to be kick ass.
No, well, the music's good. And that's what we always say, that you got to have tracks. The music's good. So you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was just going to add in there, because you're talking about the Vandals. For context, I went to high school with Dave, and the very first band that I had, like the first, like, you know, I had it was like my second band was the Falling Idols, and Dave was the singer. Mm-hmm. So it was me and Dave and Trey Pangborn, who now plays second guitar in Sublime, and Mud, our friend Mud, who should be the mayor of Long Beach. And so it's really cool to still be friends with those guys, and, you know, and just to always think back. And even the Falling Idols, this place we're going to play at, Cameron, Falling Idols played there because we never officially broke up. And every 10 years or so, someone will say, hey, do you want to do this thing? And when it's a really cool occasion, we go do it. So Falling Idols got up and played a set at that place, and it was raging. It was super fun. So that's why I think this would be good.
We live on the wrong coast because we don't have a Mud, we don't have a Smelly, we don't have anything like that, guys.
Yeah, you do. Come on, you got to.
We probably do, but it's Portland, Maine. It's small potatoes in comparison.
I think you just described my kids, actually.
Yeah.
I tried to come up with a nickname for myself, like back in 1981 or something, when we first started bands, because we all came up with nicknames, and I was going to be Al Cohol, and it didn't stick. I mean, I did drink enough, but it didn't stick.
Oh, man. Well, we're excited, and the record's great. If you haven't listened to it, it's out, so go check it out on your favorite streaming service, and then check out all things 84 Days. And Randy and Cameron, this is a blast. Anything we missed? Anything else you want to get out there?
Nah, you guys are awesome. I appreciate everything. I appreciate your caring. It's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah. One last question. Is there going to be a vinyl press?
There is. It's already pressed. There's boxes in the warehouse.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah. I like that.
We'll dabble with that.
Yeah, go buy your album today.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't delay.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. This was a blast. As we said, there's nothing else I'd rather do today than this combo, to be honest with you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Podioslave. We are at Podioslave on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the places that you can find us on social media. Facebook, Podioslave Podcast. YouTube, Podioslave Podcast there. Email us at podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. And hey, if you want to become a supporter, click on the link at the bottom of the episode and give us $1, give us $5. It keeps the lights on, keeps us going. We really appreciate that stuff. Thank you.